Netflix decided to adapt Persuasion. To get into that mess of a movie, go to the timestamp on screen. But before that, the book. Second chance romance is usually my favorite trope in romance, and this one is about Anne Elliot. She was engaged to a Captain Wentworth when she was young. That time he wasn't a captain, but she was a daughter of a baron, so her family disapproved of their engagement because he was lower in class and had no money. They managed to persuade her to to end the engagement. 8 years later, when she's 27, they meet again, and then he's a captain and rich, while her family's going through a financial crisis because her father is a spendthrift and vain. And of course, he's still bitter about how she gave him up because she's persuaded by his family. So it's kind of awkward between them, but they're both still secretly pining for each other. So the rest of the story is how they managed to get over what happened in the past and reconcile with each other. This is one of Jane Austen's more serious books, but it still has a lot of her humor, sarcasm, and wit, which I love. Overall, I really love this book. Her writing is easy to understand for the most part, but sometimes she has these really long sentences that can be a bit hard to string together, especially if the language is a bit hard. But for the most part, she is easy to understand, and I don't blame her because this was a product of her time and that's how they wrote then. I really love the characters in this book. Jane Austen is really good in writing characters that are interesting and colorful to read about. Like Anne Elliot's father is an interesting character, but I didn't like him as a person at all. Like I feel being vain and being a spendthrift and being classist is one thing, but I feel he was completely void of humanity and affection. Like he was dehumanized because he doesn't have affection even for his own daughters or daughter. I feel he could have had the same flaws while still having some humanity and affection for his own daughters. And Mary, her sister Mary, the younger one, she's really funny in how immature and self-important she is. I really found it funny. I'm not sure if this is a spoiler. I think we kind of know that ends how it ends, but if you don't want any kind of spoiler, go to the timestamp. Okay, anyway, I really love the letter that Captain Wentworth writes to Anne. It was really sweet. On to the mess of the movie. They really ruined Anne Elliot's character. I was watching the movie and this is not Anne. This is Elizabeth Bennet. This is Emma because she is not outspoken. Anne Elliot in this book is completely the opposite of outspoken. She doesn't speak her mind. She's submissive and she tries to please everyone around her. And I get that in this day and age it is more feminist to have an outspoken character, and I kind of agree. But when you are adapting this book, you are adapting this character. And I don't think a female character only has merit if she's outspoken. I think we can show some appreciation and representation for female characters who are like Anne Elliot, who are more submissive and passive. I think that's okay. The cast, I think Dakota Johnson is a really talented actress, but I think her talents have gone to waste on, you know what film franchise I'm talking of. And in this movie, I think she would have played Elizabeth Bennet perfectly, and I do think she did a good job with the character that she was given in this movie, and perhaps she would even have done a good job if given the real Anne Elliot's character. And can we please take a moment to remember that Anne Elliot in the movie drinks, that she's virtually a drunk, maybe not a drunk, but she drinks a lot in this movie, and that is just completely the opposite of book. Not just her character, but if you look at someone from her position in this time period, in this class, in this social standing, I really do not think she would be drinking like they show her do in this movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't. One more thing that Anne does is that she's the one to publicly reveal that her brother-in-law preferred her before settling with her sister. She would never do that in the book. Captain Wentworth, I have nothing objectively against the actor, but all actors have some roles that they suit and some that they don't, and I personally didn't think this actor suited this role. Like most movie adaptation, this movie of course changed a lot of things. One of it is that Anne and Captain Wentworth have a more civil, friendly kind of relationship earlier in the movie compared to the book. Like I did wish that the book had more of their civil, friendly kind of interaction earlier. But I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the purpose of the book where they only get to that stage towards the end. And I'm not complaining, I'm just saying it's a change in the movie compared to the book. And I did kind of like the movie. I didn't have a bad time watching it overall, but I didn't think it was a very good adaptation, and it has a lot of flaws. Like Anne's character, as I said, she's also shown to be silly and goofy, which she isn't in the book. I get what they're trying to do, but I personally just prefer adaptations to be more faithful to the book. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of Persuasion, the book, and the Netflix adaptation. If you like this video, please remember to like, and if you are interested in more classic discussions or even more book, movie, and TV show discussions, you can consider checking out my other content or subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.